Yesterday, I failed a back squat, and today I'm going to teach you how to fail so that we can succeed in the future. It's fine to fail. Yesterday, I was doing 4x8, so 4 sets, 8 reps of really heavy, high bar back squat. And on the last set, on the 8th rep, I was like, I'm going to get this! And then I didn't get it. But luckily, I've trained myself to know how to bail out. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today, but also we're going to talk about a couple of different things. What is failure? I like breaking it down into 3 different segments. We've got intentional failure, where we're meaning to get to a point where we can't do something. We normally feel quite good about that because we meant to get to that point. Unintentional failure. This might be an accident. It might be we're doing a squat and we can't lift that weight properly. It might be that we're going for a run and we didn't hit our time. That's an unintentional failure, which is kind of tougher to get over. And because of that, we also have emotional failure. Nothing to do with specifically exercise, but we're putting ourselves in a position where if we're a bit lower or it's tougher for us to get up and go and do things, then we're failing to not even try. We're going to talk about those a little bit later, but first off, we're going to talk about the technique side of failing. First off, we're going to talk about our intentional failure. Let's say we're doing dumbbell bench press. Right now, we're able to do multiple reps and we're able to keep going, and we get to a point where our ATP, which is the fuel for our muscles to contract, is burnt out that we literally can't do another rep. When you reach failure in this form intentionally, you've caused the most metabolic damage. Good damage. We want that damage. It helps with progressive overload. So using the failure intentionally will mean that you are really driving home that overload into the muscle to build and strengthen and to get stronger. Should you do this all the time? No. I wouldn't recommend going to failure every single session because it doesn't mean you're able to, once you dip down into I feel weaker because of how hard I pushed, doesn't mean you're able to recover and get better. But with failure, it's intentionally making us stronger. It's just nicer when we know we're intentionally doing it. Unintentional failure. Like I said, yesterday I was doing my back squats, failed a rep. I was really annoyed because I thought I was able to get it, so I had to drop the bar off of my back during squats. What I'm going to show you now is how to do a squat and keep safe. I have the bar on my back, I'm squatting deep and low, and as I'm coming up, let's say my chest starts falling forwards or my legs are too weak and I can't actually lift. What I do, lift your chest up, you walk forwards away from the bar so that the bar drops down behind you. The focus is that if it's on your back, you can get a failure where it's a little bit more like this. If you don't focus on bailing out and you get down to the bottom of a squat and you can't lift yourself up, you're going to cause some injury. I'm only going to demo this with a wooden stick because I don't want to hurt myself. So when you bail out, lift your chest up, lean backwards, and the bar falls off your back as you walk away forwards. Similar thing with the clean. If you're doing a clean and practicing your Olympic weightlifting and you get the bar up onto your shoulders into that deep squat and you can't lift it up, you need to make sure you throw yourself away from that bar as that bar comes forwards off you. You can get into a position where if you're good and have super mobility and you're really happy down in the bottom of a squat, hold the bottom of the squat and yell for someone to come and help and lift that weight off of you. I remember being 18 and my friend took me to the gym and went, yeah, you can lift 70 kilos, which was at least 10 kilos more than my body weight at the time because I was a very small boy. And then we were trying to do the squat and I went down and he walked off to get water and I got to the bottom of the squat and I stayed at the bottom of the squat and I couldn't move and I tried to yell for someone and I was just chilling out down there like, I can't lift this, hello, I'm stuck, help me! Similar situation can happen with our press. If we're doing a strict press with a bar or we're doing split jerks or just push jerks, anything where we're going from shoulder to overhead, I often see people fail and think, oh, it'll be easier to fail and hold the weight down lower into a deadlift position. But then you have to clean it back up onto your body. If you're gonna fail, just bring it back down to your shoulders and rest there. If you are fully gonna fail and you're not gonna be able to hold on, just drop the weight and walk away. The final thing would be a bench press. This is where you see the most fail videos that you can go and search online. I don't really like looking at them, it makes me feel uncomfortable. It's the one movement that you could very easily kill yourself very easily. I get scared of bench press when people bench press by themselves in their own home gym alone. Use dumbbells for that situation, or a weight you know you can do, because the bar could come down to you and it could just stay there. And if you can't get out, you're either going to squish your lungs or all your vital organs or your face or your neck, everything that's important to breathe and live. And I don't want you to get hurt. So that's super important to make sure when you do bench press, do it with a partner. Someone to be able to lift the weight off you, or you'll end up like this. I'll show you a fake video of me crying and being in pain right now, and tears coming down my eyes and my chest hurts. But as long as you can hold down in that position and someone can hear you to save you, great. Make sure you tell someone you're training. So if you get stuck, it's like going out to sea. Oh, I'm gonna go in a boat. I'm going out to sea. I'm meant to be around here. And you don't tell anyone where you're going and the boat sinks. You're lost. You're gonna become the guy from Castaway looking for Wilson. Wilson! This is my Wilson. He doesn't have a face, it just says 8 kilos, and his name's actually Colin. Mindset and failure. So when we fail, you need to focus on all the positive things that you're already doing. You've already gone to the gym. You've already succeeded. You've already thought about wanting to train. That's a success. Your perception of failing doesn't mean that you are a failure. It just means that that situation, there was a failure. Something went wrong. There was like a little mistake, but it's something you can learn on and something you can build on and progress with. If you've enjoyed what you've seen today, subscribe so you can see more. Please like and share the video, as it will help the channel and support us to grow bigger and spread success over failure. Bye guys.